Hello friends, it is me, Tyson the Trainer, back with another episode for you. I hope you've been doing well. I have been doing well, thank you. I'm feeling very awake, very energetic today, which is always a good sign when you've pumped some coffee and you're feeling fucking good. And for those of you who've never listened to this podcast before, welcome. As you know, we drink a lot of coffee here, or as you should know, we drink a lot of coffee here. There's a lot of rants going on. Sometimes I get sidetracked, but the most important thing is I'm here to deliver to you some good fucking advice, some no bullshit advice, and giving you the straight F-A-K-T-S. That's right, the straight facts. So today, we're going to be talking about why you should not train like a fucking bodybuilder, all right? Because unless you're going to compete, unless you're going to step on stage, your life should not be stuck in the gym doing the same old shit from Monday to Friday or Saturday or Sunday, okay? Everything that basically, PTs do, for the most part, online coaches, PTs, all that type of stuff, they just train clients exactly how they train, okay? Oh, you're gonna go to the gym 4 times a week, 5 times a week, whatever it's gonna be. You're gonna do upper body split, lower body split, or like arms day, chest day, back day, all that type of stuff, all right? If you are someone who is not going to step on stage, you have no indication of doing any type of competitive work, you shouldn't be training exactly like that. You shouldn't be going to the gym 5 days a week doing that, all right? If you want to build the best physique possible, not have a good toned fit physique, not look good and feel confident with your shirt off, because these things are achievable without having to do these extremes. If you're looking to achieve the best physique possible, then yes, weight training is going to be your friend, and it's probably something you're going to really want to focus on. Again, for those of you that are going to want to step on stage or any of that stuff, it's what you're going to want to do. If that is not your goal, then I highly, highly recommend you focus on more things than just going to the gym, okay? My goal as a coach is to help people find what they enjoy with exercise. I still obviously give them weight training because weight training is an essential component of your overall health, okay? Doing resistance training is still something that I very much advocate. And if that's all a client can do, then it's like, okay, that's all they're gonna do. But it should be a part of your overall healthy lifestyle program, I should say, or just, part of your lifestyle. Because here's the thing, looking good is one thing, right? Which doesn't require you just to go to the gym. Secondly, there is so much more out there than just going to the gym that's going to improve your overall health and fitness for the long term. And you know how I talk to you guys about, it's not just about going to the gym and being strong or whatever it is. It's like how you are going to, how everyday life is going to affect you. Because so many things that you do in the fitness side of things will carry over to everyday life. And it's very, very easy to see for the people who get stuck in one modality of exercise or training, how they just, they're so rigid. They say no to certain things. It stops them from doing other things, and they're not the pinnacle of health, to be honest. For example, a powerlifter. The whole powerlifting. It's good that it started to change. Like the powerlifting trend ego. It's like, oh fuck, more than 8 reps, that's cardio, or like, oh, I'm getting out of breath doing 10 reps. Like, if you're getting out of breath doing 10 reps, you may be strong, but you're not fucking fit. Jesus Christ, you're not fit. And if you don't care about fitness, if you just want to get as strong as humanly possible, well, guess what? Fitness is actually going to help with that. But if that's all you want to do, then fucking fine, okay? The same thing as like a bodybuilder's like, all right, I do the bodybuilding, I do the gym, and then my cardio is just, well, for females, it seems to be the Stairmaster. I don't understand what the fuck is with the Stairmaster. Why does everyone want to suck off the Stairmaster? I would rather shit in my hand and clap than fucking walk up the Stairmaster, right? Like, holy shit. I had a client ask me, she's like, oi, what do you reckon this is good for? I was like, nothing. It's good for nothing. It's good for people who are fucking cooked in the head and who want to go to this, a never-ending stairway. I mean, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. But Jesus Christ, for me, I'm like, fuck that. But it's like, that's all they do. Or, they might just pick one, I'm not sure about just females here. Females are mainly the Stairmaster. I never see men on the Stairmaster. Maybe it's a thing that guys just do not want to fucking do that. And girls can do it. Plus, dragging my 95 kilo up a Stairmaster ain't going to be fucking happening, And then the guys, they may just do like the stationary, or they do the incline walking, the big bodybuilders, they do the incline walk. The fucking big jug of water, doing my fasted cardio. And it's like, that's it. Like, holy fuck. You're either going to live in the gym doing weights, or you're going to do the cardio in the gym. And I've been fucking guilty of this, right? But there's so much more you can do for your overall health, getting outside of the gym, or if you're in the gym, doing different modalities, okay? You want to be able to wipe your own ass when you're older, I assume. I hope so, because I do. You know, I don't want someone wiping my ass. You want to be able to get up off a chair when you were older. You want to have the strength to be able to do that. You want to just be able to live life and you're not never going to be pain free, but just be like low pain, correct? Well, in order to do that, it takes more than just doing weight training in order to do that, right? Getting up and down, yes, you're gonna learn to squat, obviously. You know, picking up things off the ground, deadlifting, of course, okay? But like other things that you just do in everyday life, you're gonna want to be able to do that stuff when you get older, ideally, you know, as little pain as possible, I should say. And you don't want to move less, is what I guess you would say. Because think about this, like as you're a kid, you run around, you jump on things, you're walking up, you're climbing trees, you're walking on logs to balance and stuff, or you're even walking on the sidewalk to balance. You're riding push bikes, you know, you're jumping up and down, you're doing things, you bounce. You're a kid, you bounce. You don't fucking break, you just, you know, you fall off something, you get back up, you keep running around, you scrape yourself, like keep fucking going, all right? Then it gets to the point where we go through high school, we start to move less and less. You get to university, if you are going to university, you move less. You sit in lectures and stuff. You get a full office job and then you're sitting down all day. And then you take the public transport to work, that you're sitting down all day. And then you come home and you watch Netflix and you're sitting down for the rest of the day. And you're like, oh yeah, but I get my 10,000 steps in. It's like, okay, cool, yeah, sweet. You're walking. But even though you're walking, think about how many things you probably struggle with just in general. Like, here's a great thing you guys can all try. You know how the Japanese sit, how they kneel and they sit on their heels? Like, you know, they're basically, the top of their feet are pointing towards the ground, their legs are tucked under them, and they sit. Try and do that and see how fucking hard it is to do that. And you'll be like, oh, what? I can do that? Yeah, I'll go and get down. And you're like, oh, fuck. Sit on the ground cross-legged and see how long it takes for you. How long can you sit there for? Can you sit more than 5 minutes on the ground cross-legged just sitting there? And people think, yeah, I can. Well, like, you know, do it. Because it's funny with the amount of people that can't do that. Or getting down to the ground and then getting back up constantly. Like, you know, like making the noises and stuff. And it's like, that's a really fucking bad thing. Because the better we can get, like this is really, really important actually. The better you can be at getting up off the ground without assistance, I should say, sorry. So being able to get from the ground to your feet without assistance is a very, very big indicator of your health in the future. What I mean by that is being able to, being able to get yourself up and down, not requiring any help, is like your physical strength, you know? That's something to really think about, because at the end of the day, like, I'm here to help people. Obviously, you know, they want to look better, they want to be fitter, they want to be healthier, you know, you want to look good with your shirt off 100%, you want to tone up, you want to get some strength in. I understand that. But it's like, you've also got to consider you can do those things without having to live like a bodybuilder, all right? And you incorporate other modalities of exercise that are actually going to benefit you in the future for the long term. That's not going to make your life fucking shitty and hard and just unfavorable, you know? Again, sitting on the ground, I gave you a perfect example there. Can you get up off the ground without using your hands is another good one, right? Your balance. Can you, like, you know how kids walk on like, the big planks of wood, like the railings there, and they're walking on that? When's the last time you actually got up and did that? You know? For me, I think it's just because I'm still fucking a kid brain, basically. I do stuff like that all the time. Like when we're in the playground, even if there's not kids there, I'm getting on the playground. Like, I jump off swings, I'll backflip off swings. The jumping pillow I go to when I go to the Gold Coast. Today I rode my motorbike got fucking destroyed a few weeks ago. So I've been, I borrowed my mate's BMX. Like, not a road bike, like a BMX bike, what I used to ride as a kid. I'm like, oh, this will be fun. And because, like, I couldn't do hectic fucking sick tricks, you know, I could do some things. But, like, you know, riding, like today, I was commuting and it took me about 50 minutes. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to put the heart rate strap on just to actually see, like, you know, what's my heart rate getting to. And it was like between 145 and 156. So, like, I'm cruising, I'm having fun on my BMX bike. I'm popping cool little, you know, bunny hops off the gutters and stuff, or going up and down on the gutters and things, just having fun. Doing things that kids do, riding scooters, all that type of shit. And it's like, you know, you're using your body for things that are just outside the gym and sitting down and doing your steps. And you're actually less fragile overall, which is what we want. We want to be anti-fragile, okay? Like the opposite of fragile is anti-fragile. For those of you that have read the Anti-Fragile book, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, a fucking fantastic book. But being anti-fragile is what you want, because the more fragile you become in the future, the harder it is in life, you know? And you want to be as fucking resilient and anti-fragile as possible. Again, like I talked about, like having a good cardiovascular fitness, because so you can walk around a theme park all day if you were to take your kids or take yourself or take a family member to the theme park without sitting down and being like, oh my God, I've walked a little bit today. Like I've carried some groceries today. That's been tiring. No, you want to be able to do shit all the time, you know? Climbing things. The other day I locked my lock myself out of the house. I don't know why I couldn't think about that. I locked myself out of my apartment complex, and our next door neighbors, our balconies are pretty much like together. There's like a piece of drywall in the middle, and so I had to climb from their balcony because I'm not paying for a fucking locksmith. No way. I was like, no, I'll jump the balcony. So I get on the outside of their balcony, wiggle myself across, jump on the other side of the balcony, you know? And I'm like a 95 kilo male, and these things are like glass palings, so I have to be careful. But like for me to be able to like jump over the other side, you know, just being able to manipulate my body weight and pull myself up and do these things, pull myself up and over, I should say, climbing, using my arms, using my hands. These things are important just for like everyday life. I talked to you guys about being able to run for the bus, running up a flight of stairs, like things like this. It's not like you're going to do it all the time, but having the capability to do it is probably the most important thing, I should say. Because I don't know, you guys, most of you know Kevin Hart, right? I don't know if you know what happened to Kevin Hart lately, but he's in a wheelchair for the time being, because he decided to race his friend and sprint as fast as they can, you know, see who can do a 100-meter dash or whatever it was. And because he hadn't done that in so long, he pulled both of his adductors, like tore them, right? Both of his adductors, tore and tore his lower abdomen from sprinting. Do you know one of the most common causes of injuries, whether it be a hamstring or a quad muscle or anything like that, is from adult males racing each other because they haven't fucking done it in ages, you know? And it's not because like, oh, they're getting older. It's because you haven't fucking done something in so long. And then you're like, all right, I'm going from 0 to 1,000. And you're trying to put your body under the strain that it hasn't been under. And of course people get fucking hurt, you know? The reason we get older, like obviously age plays a factor, but the reason we get more fragile is because we do less when we get older. Again, we're sitting behind desks 10 to 14 hours a day, or just sitting in general. So of course the body, like, you know, it's atrophy. It's usual to lose it. And even if you're like, you know, oh yeah, but I'm a bodybuilder, or I lift weights, I have muscles. Like, you know, I have muscles myself. Doesn't mean shit. You know, they say, oh, you know, it looks the part, doesn't, they may look like this, but that doesn't mean they can physically do stuff. And it's kind of true to a degree. Like you look back, I know I'm talking a little bit about the bodybuilders here, but you look back at the generations, like with Arnold and stuff like that. It's actually funny because they didn't just do bodybuilding. When you look at the other stuff they did competitions like powerlifting, actually. So like, you know, using their physical strength. They would have, I don't know if it was like circuses or something similar like that, where like, who can blow up a hot air balloon with, you know, so strong lungs, who can blow up a hot air balloon and make it explode. Tearing phone books, you know, feats of strength where like Arnold would pick up, I think there's, you guys have seen that photo where the girls are sitting on either of his arms and stuff like that. And it's like, these are just things that you have the capability to do, and you're not just in this one modality of like, I'm only going, like, you know, I go to the gym. It's like, there's so many more fucking things you can do. So in saying that, I want to encourage you, if your goal is not to step on the stage, is not to do bodybuilding, to go and find other shit to do, and to let to move your body more, okay? Now, it doesn't mean you have to go and do all this other crazy shit, but it's like, learn to fucking move your body more, you know? Maybe try and sit on the ground for 5 minutes a day and see if you can get better at that, because you'll realize how fucking hard that is. When kids are in the playground, run after the kids, play with them. You know, don't just sit and watch. Go and do shit, move around, try and jog after them. Get on the equipment and stuff with them, you know? Learn to crouch, learn to crawl, learn to pull yourself up. Like, when is the last time you crawled up something or you pulled yourself up with your body weight? It's probably been ages, right? And you're going to realize how fucking sore you'll get just on doing those general things. But it's important to do because this is like, it's your body at the end of the day. And the more you start to use your body just for normal, not for normal everyday stuff, because basically we're not doing normal everyday stuff, but just being able to use your body in ways that actually should be used means you're going to prevent injury and prevent prevent atrophy in the future. And again, like being able to get up off the ground unsupported is a fucking great thing to do, being able to stand up from sitting. It's like when people go get up from their chair, they put their hands on their side and they push themselves up, right? Can you just step up from a chair? Can you actually just sit there, put your hands out to the side, and can you can you from sit to stand without pushing? Some people can't fucking do that. They're like, holy shit, I can't do that. Like, it's kind of fucking scary when you think about that, And doing these things don't require you to look any less better. What I mean by that is, like, if you're someone who just wants to look good with your shirt off, who wants to feel confident, who wants to be toned, any of those things, you want to have a bit of muscle mass showing, you don't have to do the gym 5 times a week, all right? You can go, if you want to go 5 times, you can, but it's like 3 times is really, really good. 4 times, sweet. You can still make good results. You can improve your strength. You can, get a good body composition that you want to get. And then on other days, just do other shit. Swimming, netball, touch football, wrestling, martial arts, like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like, do something. Do something every other time. Mate, go hiking, go running. I don't care. Ride a fucking BMX bike like me, go cycling. Put your body in different positions and in different, and what's the other one I'm trying to think? Put it in different positions and expose yourself to different circumstances where the body just has to do stuff you might not be used to, Again, at a fucking, wherever you can crawl, if you got kids and stuff, they crawl in their cubby house and stuff, try and get on your knees and crawl. A lot of you are like, holy fuck, my knees are cooked. Yeah, So you might have to use it on carpet and things like that. Getting down low, if you do have kids, like, get down on the ground low with them. Practice getting on the ground and standing up without assistance. Practice balancing on the fucking side of a gutter when you're walking down. Like, these things may seem stupid, but like, your balance is a massive thing for when you're older too. The risk of older people dying once they've had a fall, like once an older person has had a fall, the chance of them, sorry, I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say here. When someone falls over and they are older, okay, the chances of them dying within the next year is, I cannot believe how much higher it is, right? I can't think about the actual number. But when you read the number, if you look up, the chances of death after an elderly person falls is increased by such a stupid percentage. And I'm like, holy fuck. Because an injury, once someone is injured, it is very, very hard for an older person to recover, So we want to make sure that we have good balance, right? Can you stand on one leg and close your eyes and hold that position for 30 seconds on each leg? Or do you start to fucking tip around? Because, like, that's something you got to work on, This is where I think, in a way, certain other things in the gym is actually important. So deadlifting is important because you're going to pick up heavy shit off the ground and just pick up things in everyday life. Squatting is important because you need to learn to get at least your body weight up and down off a chair without assistance, okay? Chin-ups and pull-ups are important because you're being able to pull your body weight up. If you're ever to hang over something, if you're ever to, like, I can jump a fence, no fucking worries. If I'm locked out of something, I need to jump a fence, I will jump a fence. I will climb a tree. I will be able to do that. So it's like, using your own body weight. And if you're not, like, obviously it's going to be harder for females, I understand that. Practice that shit, Chin-ups are a good idea to be able to learn. Box jumps, okay? Not like do hundreds of box jumps, not do super high box jumps, but can you jump onto a 30 centimeter box and step back off and do that 2 to 3 times, Because that is like, using explosiveness to be able to jump from a standstill up. Because when it's funny when we say that, like, can you box jump? Yeah, I can box jump. But do you know how hard it is as an elderly person to be able to step up off step from a flat surface up onto a gutter? Like, if you're walking across a crossing, right, and you're on the road, and let's say there's no, like, slope to go up and you have to step up there, it's actually quite hard for them to lift their leg up that high because they're like pottering along, pottering along. You want to be able to have full use of your legs, and being able to jump is a good thing you can do. Now, again, you don't need to do 60 centimeters and above box jumps, but you should be able to jump at least 30 centimeters. which would be a good idea. Like, it's funny because I will, this is like, I like to be someone who's a generalist overall. So you guys know that I do boxing, I run, I now ride a fucking BMX bike, I get on the assault bike, I do the gym. If someone's like, oh, you should try this, I'll go and try it. Because I'm like, at the end of the day, if I feel confident enough with the capability that I'm going to try it, I'm going to be able to use my body, which I know I use my body in so many modalities that it's not going to hurt me. The confidence of knowing that just means I'm able to just, to do things in life without being like, oh, fuck, that's going to hurt or that's going to scare me. We were moving my mate Mac, his furniture, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I can fucking jump onto the back of the truck. Like the removalist trucks type of thing, and they have the dolly on the back that goes up and down. I'm like, let me just see if I can just, from standstill, jump up onto it. And it's a show-off moment for me because I'm like, oh, boys, watch this. Let's see if I can do it. And if I fucked up, I'm really going to hurt myself. But I had the confidence knowing I can jump that high just because I do things in life, in training, like the box jumps and stuff like that, or explosive movements that are going to allow me to do that. If someone's like, oh, you should climb that tree, I'm like, yeah, I have the confidence to be able to pull myself up because I know I can do a multiple amount of chin-ups and weighted chin-ups and be able to pull myself up, If someone's like, oh, you want to go for a run? Yeah, I can't run as fast as them possibly, or, do a sprint, but I know because I have run, and I do run, that it's not going to be something that holds me back, This is why I want to get back into swimming again too, because just when you're like, if you just find shit to do and you're not so like, oh, I only have to go to the gym, or I'm only going to do my cardio in the gym, you just learn to use your body better and you are more capable of doing things, okay? And people will be blown away from you being able to do simple things that they may seem simple, but they're fucking hard to do, Like, you could be like, wait, let's all try and sit down and get up unassisted. And watch how many people just fucking struggle to do that. Like, they can't even stand up, or it's such effort for people to get up. And it's like, all you're doing is getting down from the ground, getting up. It's crazy when we think about it. It's like, all I'm doing is getting from the ground and standing up. And it's fucking such a hard thing. But it's something we need to be good at. We need to be good at life. And that's what I'm saying, go to the gym 3 times a week, 4 times a week if you want to. But then use your other days just to do things that are also enjoyable too. Like, I know I want to go back to that, but it's like, make it fun, make it enjoyable. For me, I'm like, fuck the assault bike at the moment. If I've got this push bike and I'm going to commute everywhere, that's my cardio done. Most places will take me 30 to 45 minutes. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is my cardio. Like, it's fun. It goes quickly and I'm getting cardiovascular benefits, If I'm getting to throw kids around, it's cool because they're like, oh, like the young kids, like, oh, Uncle Tyson, they want me to throw them around. They want me to get in the pools and they want me to jump. They want me to do the swimming. I'm like, I can do that because I'm doing other things in the gym. Like, not just weight training, like I said, or like going for swims and stuff like that. Doing things that allows my body to then have the capability to go and do that without fucking hurting myself, without being sore, without being achy, without fucking tearing a shoulder muscle off, or like a side delt, or a fucking trap, or again, going for a sprint and tearing my adductors because I'm like, oh fuck, I haven't moved in 30 years, or I haven't fucking run since I was a teenager, and now I'm 45, and then I decide I'm gonna fucking run down the street and race someone, Like, I'm pretty confident if someone's like, oh, you want to sprint right now? I'm like, yeah, let's go, Not because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to win. I'm like, no, because I know I'm not going to fucking hurt myself. Whereas if someone else, if I was with a bunch of dads, I'm like, oh, yeah, let's all go run down the street. Most likely someone's going to fucking pull a hip flexor, pull a hamstring, tear a quad, do something terrible. And it's like, are we that fickle? Are we that weak that happens? And again, it also happens to people who just do the gym because that's all they do. They do the machines, they might do a few free weights, and that's it. And it's like, we want to be able to do more things. So again, include assisted chin-ups in your workout program. Include bodyweight dips or assisted dips in your program. Make sure that you do have lunging in your program because you're going to lunge down to do stuff. You're going to get in a kneeling position. You're going to pick up shit off the ground, like I said, deadlifts, do little bits of box jumps, push a sled, just try and be creative with what you're doing. And again, on your off days, whether it be playing a sport, doing a physical contact activity, going fucking rock climbing, doing other stuff, whatever's going to be enjoyable at the end of the day, because with that, just allows you to be more capable as a human. And I'm just really, really like, I'm been thinking about this a lot today because I'm like, what the fuck, man? I was like, when I heard about Kevin Hart, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, damn, that's a bad go, firstly. And then secondly, I'm just like, man, a lot of people actually haven't, like, a lot of people don't just do things every day like kids did. You know, we don't anymore because we sit down and it's like, this is pretty fucked up. Like, obviously we have professions and I can't be like, oh, you go and do this all the time. But it's like, maybe go learn body gymnastics. You know, I did gymnastics 4 years. No, probably like 6 years ago. I did like a gymnastics 6-week things. And that was cool. Like, just to learn how my body works in space. But just explore stuff, you know? And again, if you just want to go to the gym, you can just go to the gym. But I'm such a big advocate of doing other things outside of the gym, right? And funnily enough, like, as much as I like the gym and I like to progress and push myself, boxing is way fun of the gym, you know? Riding around now at the moment, I'm like, fuck, I get to listen to music, I get to ride around, I get to do my little tricks, and like, it's just fun with the environment. Like, I'm weaving in and out of all, like, when I'm going down the hill really quickly, it's like going in and out of the white lines on the road, you know? Or if I'm going up towards like a slant from a gutter, I'm trying to like bunny hop and just little shit, right? Just making it fun. I'm like, this is fucking cool. Just simple stuff like that can just make life, one, more enjoyable, two, get you more ready for life, I guess you would say, just when things come up. And again, whether you have kids or not, you know, if you're kidless like me or you do have kids, when you are around kids, go and play with them. Get on the ground with them. Go on the fucking playgrounds with them. You know, go and act like a kid, because the best thing you can actually do for yourself in order just to be able to move and not fucking hurt yourself, you know? And then finally, I would highly suggest you guys try and practice sitting on the ground. I don't know if anyone's actually noticed that when sometimes I'll post Instagram stories at night, how now the cats come and sit with me because I'm sitting on the ground instead of the couch, and they'll like come around because they want to see my food, and because it's on the ground now, they'll like come over. But it's just funny because it's like, what the fuck is Tyson doing sitting on the ground when he's got a couch there? And I'll just sit on the ground for like, you know, out of the whole time that we're chilling, I'll sit on the ground for like fucking 30 minutes, if that, you know? And then I'll go and sit on the couch, but it's just like exposing my hips to being open, letting myself get in positions I should be in that shouldn't be that much of a struggle, getting down on the ground and then getting back up without assistance. Balance is important. Bone strength is important. Being mobile is important, okay? You can do these things while still looking good. And it's actually fucking way cooler when someone who looks fit as fuck and they're also able to, just do whatever they want, you know? Again, it's like, how many people, if you even said to like someone who's proper serious bodybuilder or someone who's a powerlifter, like, okay, oh, you want to go for a run? Oh, no way, man. No, I'm not going for a run. You want to go for a hike? Nah, I got to do legs tomorrow. It's like, who gives a fuck? Is your life that serious? Again, they obviously take it that serious. But if you're choosing the gym as opposed to doing something like in life that could be an improvement in your life, could be fun, could be, again, another modality of fitness, say yes to that shit, you know? I don't want you to just think like, oh, is this going to be fitter, this or that? But it's like, if it's something you don't usually do, all right? If someone's like, oh, you want to go rock climbing today? Oh, I've got a gym session. Go rock climbing. Go try rock climbing. Go bouldering. Bouldering's actually really fun. I really enjoy bouldering. I like it more than rock climbing because I feel like rock climbing's a little bit too easy with the assistance. Like, obviously, you know, there's only so much assistance you can give, but I just felt like bouldering was way harder, which I enjoyed. And a funny story about that, when we were doing rock climbing, Angie was like a little bit too short for some of the bits she was trying to grab up. So because you can obviously give people leverage, I was getting in trouble from the fucking rock climbing person because I'd pull the rope really hard and it would like hoist her up. So then she could grab onto the next bit when she'd get stuck. And the person kept coming around like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, oh, sorry. Yeah, it's all good. And then she'd be stuck and I'd just fucking reef it. And it's like, you know, with bouldering, you can't do that. You're either going to fall off, or you got to be, you know, clever with that. And like, it works your grip strength. It works your feet. Just little things like these, I think, go a long way. So this is not a massive podcast about exactly what you should do. All I'm trying to say is like, just be open to doing other shit. You know what is even funny? Learn to walk barefoot. Okay? I'm not saying, oh, you know, these shoes are your casts and all this stuff. Like, I walk barefoot quite a fair bit, okay? The reason for it is just because your feet can actually handle the ground. And like, you're going to notice if you're walking barefoot outside your house, how sensitive the bottom of your feet are. Which they're not really supposed to be that sensitive. Like, my feet are pretty calloused. The only time they got burnt is when we were in Jordan in the Dead Sea, and it was like 50 degrees, and the ground was so hot, and my thongs slipped. And it was funny because my thongs broke. And the friends we were with and Angie, they're laughing because usually I can handle like pretty good heat on my feet. Like if I'm walking on asphalt and it's hot, people are like, how the fuck are you able to do that? I'm like, I got callous feet. I walked in towns for fucking 13, 14 years just on bare feet for the most part. But there, it was just burning. However, much to the point, again, going off on tangents here, but like, just go walk barefoot. Feel how sore your arches get if you walk on the beach barefoot, okay? Walk in grass and just notice like, oh, geez, that's a bit chilly, or like, that's a bit ticklish on the bottom of my feet. Just because we don't do that shit anymore. And it's just such a big difference, okay? So again, this podcast is not super educational, not super in-depth or anything, but I just want to encourage you guys, just like, don't live the fucking gym lifestyle if you're going to if you don't want to be on stage. And what I mean by that is like, again, don't go 5 times a week and the gym is all you do and the cardio in the gym is all you do. Just expand your horizons, because it's going to be so much better for you long term. And again, it's going to be no detriment to your physical body if that is something you're concerned about. You're still going to look just as good. You're going to be more functional, and life is going to be fucking way easier just in general life doing this shit. Cool? That is the podcast. Also, if you are interested in coaching, make sure you send me a DM on Instagram. I still have some coaching spots towards the end of the year. I'm going to be closing them by the start of December, so if you want to get on board, send me a message. We can focus on whatever you want to focus on, especially with me showing you. A lot of people have been showing at the moment they're improving their relationship with food. They're able to eat more calories at maintenance. They're putting themselves in a better headspace. A lot of these things can be worked on before Christmas time comes around. So if you are keen, do make sure you send me a message. DM me on Instagram, and yeah, that's it. Until next time, my friends, I'll speak to you guys then.